Joining me with reaction right now, retired four-star general and Fox News senior strategic analyst, General Jack Keane. General, my goodness, and these were the folks that we were going to be engaged in a deal with. I mean, we should remind ourselves of that. Perhaps seeing what the Iranians just did, sir, is yet again further indication that we don't want to be in business with them.
Oh, yeah. See, and we should remind ourselves when Secretary Kerry first approached the Iranians over the nuclear deal that turned out to be such a disaster, he rightfully put on the table as the first condition Iran's behavior in the region as a condition to sit down and talk. Iran said to them, our behavior in the region has nothing to do with nuclear weapons. We will not come to the table. And what we should have done then is said, okay, we'll see you next year, the same condition, and we're going to increase the sanctions. It is their behavior that is the major issue that we have to deal with. And here it is, front and center. What they're doing here, Trish, is they're conducting a military buildup inside of Syria. They already got 130,000 rockets and missiles in Lebanon under the control of the Hezbollah. They want to get a similar capability in southern Syria so they can rain these weapons into Israel and go beyond the Israelis' capability to defend themselves because they'd be coming from multiple locations and they'd be swarming at Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. They want to destroy the state of Israel. It's always been a strategic objective. They say it every year, and they're trying to go about doing it, but the Israelis are not going to let that happen.
Yeah, just pretty unbelievable stuff. General, let's talk a minute about these sanctions. Because we're sort of going it alone at this point, there's concern that it may not have as much of an effect. Do you think that others will follow our leadership here? Do you think that the Europeans will come along? And let's not forget, if you're a European company that's doing business in Iran, we may not take too kindly to you doing business with us. So is that going to be some additional economic pressure that may result in additional countries coming to our side of the table?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, it's really something. All the Sunnis are with us, and certainly the Israelis are with us. Why is that? Because they live in a neighborhood that the Iranians are trampling all over their interest and our interest. But the Europeans are not with us. Why is that? Because they have financial arrangements with the Iranians, and they want to continue those financial arrangements. We're going to have to be tough on the sanctions. Trump's economic advisors are telling us that they're going to be tough. We're going to have to do the secondary sanctions against companies, European companies that are doing business with the Iranians. I do believe eventually the Europeans will come with us, but for the time being, they're not there. But I think there's going to be economic persuasion that'll bring them there.
What do you say, General, to those who say, oh, my goodness, we're out of this thing. How could we possibly be out of this thing? Because now we're just giving them a greater ability to create a nuclear weapon down the road. Your response?
Well, first of all, the nuclear deal gave them that capability, gave them the pathway to a nuclear weapon. By 2030, there would be no inspection in the country whatsoever. And that's the reality of it. And by not going to the military sites, we have no way of knowing if they're not developing those weapons in any event, because we don't have that kind of access. So now I think what will happen to the Iranians, I do believe, is eventually they may come back to the table as well. And why is that? Well, because they got currency problems, they got inflation problems, they got overall economic problems. They can't afford to have these sanctions slapped right back on them again and not be able to sell all that oil that they've been selling ever since the sanctions have been removed in the summer of 2015.
General,
that's the reality.
It is the reality. And when we stick to our guns and we actually enforce sanctions, and we force other countries to enforce the sanctions that we've put in place, meaning we don't do business with someone who's doing business with Iran, then we're talking about something. We're talking about really being able to have a real kind of pressure on these economies, these countries, very quickly, because I have you here. Before I let you go, General, it feels like a very historic moment. I said yesterday, I remember when I was a kid and the Iranian hostages were freed in January 1981, seeing that these detainees from North Korea have been brought back to the U.S. certainly took me down memory lane in some ways. Walk us through the significance of what it means, General, for our upcoming summit, if you would, in Singapore, with Kim Jong-un?
Yeah, well, I'm absolutely convinced that Pompeo told Kim Jong-un, we need the hostages before the summit or there'll be no summit. We're not going to come to the summit and then negotiate for Americans that you're holding hostage. That's not going to happen. So thus we got the hostages back. Listen, when you talk tough and you carry a big stick, and the big stick is the United States military behind the tough talk, we've got their attention. I just got back from the Far East, from Japan last night, and I'll tell you, the Japanese, I'm talking to the government there, they are absolutely convinced that there is a potential here for a real breakthrough with North Korea, and they said there's only one reason this is happening. They have one word to describe why it's happening, and that word is Trump.
Wow. And I know you said the same exact thing to me, General, and I've said to you, how is it that it's happening now? You said Trump, Trump, Trump. So whether you like him or not, with some of the personal characteristics that may, discourage others from being enthusiastic, when it comes to the actual policy of keeping our world safe, what kind of grade is he getting in your book?
Oh, he's getting a high grade in my book. And that's what there's two rogue nations. One is North Korea, the other one's Iran. Iran doesn't have nuclear weapons. President Trump is not going to let them get nuclear weapons. That's why he stopped the pathway to the nuclear weapon, which was the nuclear deal. And the other nation has nuclear weapons, and he's given them two choices. Either you voluntarily give up those weapons, or you're going to force me to come there and take them away from you. And that's where we're going.
All right. General Keane, thank you so much. Good to see you.